What do you do when your truth is beautiful, but it might break the man who says he loves you? Be right back.
What if I told you that change how you want me? Would you hold me tighter or pull away slowly? What if I told you I once loved a woman, skin like cocoa, lips like wine? She held me close like holy water, prayed between my thighs and called it divine. Would you still kiss me like I'm yours? Still write your name on my skin like a poem? Or would you question every moan, like my body's some battleground I don't own? I ain't confused, I'm just complex. Been touched by hands that didn't flex. She gave me love, he gave me fire. Now you here caught in my choir. What if I told you I like her too? Would your arms still feel like truth? If I let you see the curves on my heart, would you still wanna play every part? What if I told you my past ain't clean? Would you still love me through the in-between? I ain't asking for permission, just the room to breathe. So tell me, baby, would you still believe?
I ain't trying to start a fire, but I won't lie about my flame. Some nights it was her name I whispered before I ever knew your name. She ain't a threat, she's a verse in my song, but you, my love, are the beat I'm on. So don't make me choose between past and peace. Just love me whole or let me be. Don't turn my truth into a test. Don't lay beside me just a second guess. I ain't asking for a fantasy, just a man who sees all of me. What if I told you I like her too? Would your soul still melt when I look at you? Can you hold me now without the fear that I love someone else before I got here? What if I told you it's all still true, that I want you, want her, and still want you? This heart ain't split, it's just grown wide. So love me loud or step aside. What if I told you, would you still choose me?
Should I tell him I like women? Welcome to the Unorganized Chaos Network. I am the evangelist of entertainment. This is a whosoever will zone. All are welcome here, especially if you are gay, straight, crippled, or crazy. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and turning on that notification button. I love you. I appreciate you. I thank God for you. I would also like to give a special shout out to Michael Baston. Michael Baston Live. Please follow him on all social media networks. Michael Baston on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever he's at, follow him. Uh, I was inspired to do this video by one of his posts. Um, it was about a woman who was, I guess, in a relationship with a man, and she happened to have had relationships with women in the past. So the question was, should I tell him I like women? And it struck me because I was once in that situation. I am a lesbian. I don't like to be defined and put in a box, but most other lesbians call me a soft stud, and I am a soft stud who happens to like very feminine women. I am a lesbian. With that being said, I used to be married to a man, and out of that relationship, um, we conceived two kings, um, and we are no longer married, but I still honor and respect him because he gave me two out of the three most precious gifts that I could ever have in my life. but I appreciate this man I was married to. I grew up in a very strict Pentecostal household. Only thing I ever knew or heard about being a lesbian was you were going to hell. There was no explanation. All it was is lesbian equals hell. So when I got married, I was thinking, okay, I don't have to go to hell. Now, when I was like the man I married to, yes, I was sexually attracted to him. He's the only man to this day, I'm 45 years old, that I have ever been sexually attracted to. I'm no longer sexually attracted to him, but I do honor and respect him. He's a very good man. He was a very good husband when we was married, and he's a very good father. He's just a good man. He's a veteran. He's now retired from the Air Force, and I believe he's remarried. I don't communicate with him that often, but my kings do. Um, but the reason I'm mentioning him, because when I told him, his response was so shocking to me. I said, I have always been sexually attracted to women, but I never said anything because I didn't want to go to hell. And we got married. I married you thinking, okay, at least now I don't go to hell, and thinking that I could just suppress those desires. But there was nothing I could do. There was nothing I did that caused me to be sexually attracted to women, and there's nothing I could do to cause me not to be sexually attracted to women. Anyway, I can't remember the totality of the conversation because this was when I was like 20, 25 years old. Anyway, his response was, I believe his response was, well, I like women too. So I was like, oh, it's going in a direction I don't want it to go, but it didn't go that way. And then he asked me, he said, how do you know you like women if you've never been with one? Which was true. I had never been with a woman. And I said, the same way you do, you were sexually attracted to women without ever being with one. And we literally just sat down and had a conversation. We were both mature enough. I don't know if it was due to his military discipline or not, but we were both mature enough to have a conversation about this. We had a conversation about it, and out of respect for him and our children, I'm gonna leave it at that. But it was a successful conversation, and I'm grateful that he gave me the space and the opportunity for me to become myself. He is the first person on this earth, in this world, who gifted me with the opportunity for me to find out if this was who I really was, which I already knew. But I will always love and appreciate him for that. But I want to make something clear. Your truth is not a sin. My beautiful black queens, your truth is not a sin. Your sexual identity or experiences are not shameful. They're just a part of your truth. It may not be your whole book, but it is an important chapter, and you get to decide who reads what and when. You get to decide who reads what's in your book and when they read what's in your book. So when is the right time to tell them? There's no one size fits all answer. But here's some stuff I would like for you to consider. Now, I'm not here to convict, convince, or condemn anyone of anything. I just want to give you some things to consider. And maybe we can have a grown folks, mature conversation about this. If you have any questions you would like to ask me, you can put it in the comments. If you want to ask me a question privately, you can email me. My email address is in the description of my YouTube page, or you can email me at chaosunorganized@gmail.com. But there's no one size answer that fits all. But here are some choices and some options. Maybe you should tell him early, but not immediately. If you're dating with the intention of building something real, then ideally you share it before it gets serious, not after you've built a house of connection on top of a secret. You don't owe him your life story on date one. But if y'all are heading toward intimacy or exclusivity, it's respectful to let him know. Because you deserve to be loved for your full self. You deserve to be loved for your full self. He deserves the dignity of choice. Hiding it can feel like betrayal later, even if that wasn't your intention. Aim for around the time emotional intimacy deepens, but before sexual exclusivity for long time planning. If the fear of judgment is high, protect yourself first. Not all men are safe spaces. And then you do not owe the truth to someone who will weaponize it. Ask yourself, has he shown emotional maturity? How does he respond to things that don't fit his box? Is he homophobic, misogynistic, overly controlling? If any of these raise red flags, your silence isn't deception, it's self-preservation. Your silence isn't deception, it's self-preservation. And consider why you want to tell him. Ask yourself, do I want him to know me better? Do I hope for his support or understanding? Am I looking for permission or preparing for rejection? Is this part of my healing or growth? You should share because it feels authentic and necessary for connection, not because you're trying to convince him of your worth. Should you ever tell him? Yes, if you're seeking an honest, safe, and soul naked relationship. If you feel shame that you want to release. You're still exploring and may want room to be fluid. And in those situations, I think it's okay to tell them. But maybe not if it's just a past experience that holds no emotional weight. Now, I've had women to come to me in the past who were just curious and just wanted to experiment with it. Um, it depends on the situation of that woman. I must say something. I hope it makes sense to you. I don't eat eggplants. Hope that makes sense. I don't eat eggplants. I don't deal with women who like eggplants. There's nothing wrong with that. This is a judgment-free zone. But if you want to have an experience and at the same time you got an eggplant in your bed, I'm not emotionally equipped to eat anything that just had an eggplant in it. It's not for me. God bless you. I pray that you find someone that can help you along the way. Now, then I've had women come to me and say, I'm tired of being with men. I keep getting hurt. I just want to be like, know what it's like to be with a woman. These are true conversations I've had with other women. Some privately, secretly, some just was out open about it. We'll be out eating with other people that, most people know I'm a lesbian just by looking at me or assuming or what, it doesn't matter, bother me. And then just say, hey, I just want to know what it's like. And my response is always, if you just doing this just to see if a woman being in a relationship with a woman would be different than you being in a relationship with a man, in my experience, just from knowing myself in relationships and from knowing other lesbians in relationships, there's no difference. People are people. Men can hurt you, women can hurt you. Men can love you, women can love you. Now I've heard some women say that they feel like that A woman knows another woman's body better, therefore, they're able to please their body better. Again, every woman is different. Uh, then I've met women who their whole entire life they've only been sexually attracted to men, but they meet this one woman, and something about that one woman causes them to fall in love with that woman. And I think that's beautiful. It reminds me of Niecy Nash and Jessica Betts. They have a beautiful love story. Um, Follow them too, please, especially on Instagram. I love their Instagram posts. But I've been following Niecy Nash since Reno 911. I love the Reno 911. So there's various reasons, uh, from my personal experience, that women sleep with women. Now, no judgment. You can sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. Just do it safely and legally. Um, and then there's some women like me. People ask me, do I believe I was born this way? I have no idea if I was born this way or not. I'm not trying to figure out if I was born this way or not. All I know is all I can remember. And I would like to make this disclaimer. I do have a traumatic brain injury. I'm a former police officer, uh, which deals with my traumatic brain injury deals with my concentration and memorization. So I write down a lot of stuff. But as far as my recollection, ever since I was little, I just knew I was sexually attracted to women. And some of you might be asking, well, how did you get married to this man? Me and this man I married and his family, we grew up in the same church, the strict Pentecostal church. Um, I messed around and found out one night and ended up pregnant. And we got married. And that's how that went. And yes, I think I became sexually attracted to him because of how he's a very good man. Very good man. And just by him being who he is, very responsible, military, that's what caused me to fall in love with him. Uh, there's nothing I can think of to say bad about him when he was married. He really took care of his responsibilities. Uh, so I mean, I really can't think of it. It's my fault, I guess, because I just wanted my own relationship with my own woman. I wanted to be my own self. Um, Now, where was I at? I'm talking about I woman want to be with a woman, but make sure the man is emotionally mature to handle it. If not, maybe get a couples therapist and let her mediate the conversation. I'm in therapy. I talk to Jesus on Sundays and I talk to my therapist on Monday. I've been in therapy ever since 2022 and I love it. Therapy ain't for everybody, but it's definitely for me. Um, but maybe you don't want to tell him that you like women or used to like women or whatever. If it's just a past experience that holds no emotional weight, like you was curious, you tried it, and you're just like, no, the cat ain't for me. I'd rather stick to the airplane. And that's beautiful too. Or maybe you shouldn't tell him if you know he's judgmental and don't want to go deeper. If you're still figuring things out and prefer to keep it private for now, all of that is your right. It's your body. Your truth shouldn't cost you your peace. Your truth should not cost you your peace. If telling your truth ends the relationship, that man wasn't your forever in the first place. Love that is real is curious, not condemning. If he can't see the beauty in your full self, your fluidity, your fire, your freedom, then that ain't a loss, it's just a detour around heartbreak. You are not broken, you are multidimensional. My truth is not a threat, it's a gift. I deserve love that honors all of who I am, and I am trust that being honest will lead me To the love that sees me clearly and chooses me completely. I'm going to say that again. My truth is not a threat, it's a gift. I deserve to love. I deserve love that honors all of who I am. And I trust that being honest will lead me to the love that sees me clearly and chooses me completely. You need love that sees you clearly and chooses you completely. If you will turn with me in your Bibles to Joshua 1 and 9, there within you will find these words: Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1 and 9. This verse reminds us that truth told in love is not something to fear. Truth told in love is not something to fear. Even when the outcome is uncertain, God's presence walks with you. Even when the path feels risky. Read this book. It's called Sister Outsider by Audre Lorde. When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid. This quote captures the sacred boldness of living out loud, especially when the world tells you to shrink. Lorde is a Black lesbian poet and warrior. She reminds us that fear loses power when we honor our own voice. Your truth is not a confession, it's a courageous declaration of your wholeness. Your truth is not a confession, it is a courageous declaration of your wholeness. Go watch The Color Purple again. I know we probably all done watched it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 times, but watch it again and play a close attention specifically to the relationship between Celie and Shug Avery. In one of the film's most tender and revolutionary moments, Shug tells Celie, I think it pisses God off if you walk by the color purple, which happens to be my favorite color, royal purple that is. If you walk by the color purple in a field somewhere and don't even notice it. That moment and their kiss wasn't just about romance. It was about Celie reclaiming her desire, her voice, and her right to feel alive. It was about Celie reclaiming her desire, her voice, and her right to feel alive. Her love for Shug didn't need explanation. It was liberation in bloom. Just like Celie, you don't owe the world silence to stay safe in someone else's comfort. You don't owe the world silence to stay safe in someone else's comfort. Your love, your desire, your truth, they are the color purple in your life. Divine, undeniable, and deserving to be seen. Then go listen to the song I Am Light by India Ari. I am not the mistakes that I have made or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I love this song, but I want to make sure you know you are not a mistake. Homosexuality is not a mistake. Lesbianism is not a mistake. This song is a soft, soul-bearing anthem that reminds you your identity isn't a mistake. Your identity is light. Your queerness, your past experiences, your full spectrum of love. That's not something to hide. That's a holy truth wrapped in self-acceptance. So when you're wondering if you should tell him, let this be your inner soundtrack. You are not confusion. You are clarity in process. You are light, unapologetic, and whole. You are not confusion. You are clarity in process. You are light, unapologetically, and whole. I feel a water break coming on. If your song is good for you, I want to share a quote with you From Dr. Joy Harden Bradford. Should I tell him I like women? Coming out is not a one-time act. It's a lifelong process of being more of yourself. That's Dr. Joy Harden Bradford. She's a licensed psychologist and founder of Therapy for Black Girls. This quote reminds us that disclosure isn't about performance, it's about liberation. You don't owe the world your entire truth all at once. You do not owe the world your entire truth all at once. You owe yourself the freedom to live without shame, one breath at a time. You owe yourself the freedom to live without shame, one breath at a time. Divine creator of all truth, all love, and all becoming. I become before you with trembling hands and a tender heart, carrying a truth that feels both beautiful and terrifying. I do not ask you to change who I am, for I know I am fearfully and wonderfully made. But I ask you for the strength to carry this truth with grace. Guide my words if I speak. Guard my peace if I stay silent. Remind me that disclosure is not an obligation. It is a choice rooted in trust, not fear. If I tell him, let it be with boldness, not brokenness. If I do not, let it be with wisdom, not shame. You know my past. You see my heart. You hold the full complexity of my love in your hands. Surround me with safety. Fill me with discernment. And most of all, remind me that the parts of me I fear the world will reject are the same parts you call holy. Amen. Should I tell him I like women? Let me ask you this, my beautiful, gorgeous, beautiful black queens. Have you ever sat across from a man, sipping some sweet tea with your lip gloss popping, and thought, if I tell him I like women, will he judge me, dump me, or try to make it a threesome? There it is. It's not a love story. It's a logic puzzle with emotions on the side. Because this ain't about labels, it's about liberation and whether your truth can live without negotiation. Here's the bold truth: your sexual identity ain't a confession, it's a compass. But sometimes saying, I like women, feels like throwing a spark into a room full of gaslighting. So now you're stuck thinking, do I tell him? Or do I just let him believe I'm strictly on team eggplant till death do us part? Let me give you some things you gotta know before you bust out your truth like Beyonce at homecoming. Your truth ain't scandalous, it's sacred. Your truth ain't scandalous, it's sacred. Audre Lorde said your silence will not protect you. So let's be clear. This ain't tea, it's a testimony. His reaction ain't your responsibility, but your peace is. His reaction ain't your responsibility, but your peace is. If he can't handle it, that's a him problem, not a you problem. Don't carry his small-mindedness like it's Gucci. You get to choose the how, the when, and the why. You get to choose the how, the when, and the why. This ain't an interrogation. This your freedom of speech, not an episode of Maury. Let's flip the script now. What if we told him a little story? Imagine just telling him that I used to love her. She wore hoops like wine, smelled like vanilla and revolution. She held my hand like it was gospel. But I didn't choose her to spite men. I chose her because she felt like home. See, putting it that way, that's not drama. That's just divine design. That's all that is. According to the Pew Research Center, 1 in 5 black LGBTQ women say they've hidden their identity out of fear of rejection in dating. But here's the twist. A glad study found that over 60% of black men under 35 are actually open to dating bisexual women, as long as it's not about fetish or fantasy. So, my beautiful black queen, the landscape is shifting. But the question still is, are you choosing men who can handle your whole plate, not just your appetizer? Are you choosing men who can handle your whole plate and not just your appetizer? So hold up, because I can already hear the kind of arguments. But why you gotta bring that up? It's in the past. My beautiful black queen, the past ain't dead. It's breadcrumbs to your blueprint. What if he gets jealous that he ain't secure in his position? Period. He might think you're still experimenting. You are not a science fair project, sweetheart. You are divinely complex, not confused. You are divinely complex, not confused. The risk is real. Let's not sugarcoat it. You might lose him. You might get side-eyed. You might even get asked, so y'all ever gonna invite me? But you also gain clarity, respect, and a partner who sees you uncut and unashamed. You gain clarity, respect, and a partner who sees you uncut and unashamed. So what's the real win? The win ain't in his reaction. The win is you choosing you. The win is you choosing you. Whether you whisper it, write it, sing it, or scream it. The goal is not approval, it's alignment. The goal is not approval, it's alignment. And alignment will always outlive attention. You don't have to explain your queerness. You don't have to live it without apology. You don't have to explain your queerness. You just have to live it without apology. Tell them if you're building something real. Tell them if you want to be known, not just loved. Tell him if you're tired of sidestepping your story. But if he's shown himself to be unsafe, just keep it to yourself for now. If he's reducing women, loving women to just a sex tape, then maybe you should keep it to yourself. If you're still unsure and want to keep this sacred for you, then that's okay. You can do that. Just keep it to yourself. So should you tell him you like women? Only if your truth is ready to stretch beyond fear. Only if his love can handle your layers. Only if the silence starts to feel heavier than the words. Because at the end of the day, my beautiful black queens, you're not coming out. You're coming into alignment. And if he can't hold your story, then let him be the chapter, not the conclusion. Walk away knowing this. You are not confused. You are not complicated. You are complete. And whether you love her, him, both, or neither, you deserve to love yourself first, fully, and out loud. You deserve to love yourself first, fully, and out loud. Now, if this message stirred something in your spirit, don't just sit on it. Sit with it. Hit like if you've ever wrestled with telling your truth. Subscribe if you're done dimming your light to keep love comfortable. And drop a comment if you've been there, caught between silence and self-love. This ain't just a conversation. It's a community of courage. So pull up, speak up, and stay free. Because your truth deserves air, not shame. And my beautiful black queens, if he can't handle your whole heart, he don't deserve the highlight reel. Okay? Thank you so much for liking, for sharing, for subscribing, for turning on that notification button. do me a favor, please share this with at least 4 different people. You are more than likely to become like the 4 people you hang around the most. Again, I want to say thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you for subscribing. Okay? If our hearts and minds are clear, go govern yourselves accordingly.
What if I told you that change how you told me? Would you hold me tighter or pull away slowly? What if I told you I once loved a woman, skin like cocoa, lips like wine? She held me close like holy water, prayed between my thighs and called it divine. Would you still kiss me like I'm yours? Still write your name on my skin like a poem? Or would you question every moan, like my body's some battleground I don't own? I ain't confused, I'm just complex. Been touched by hands that didn't flex. She gave me love, he gave me fire. Now you here caught in my choir. What if I told you I like her too? Would your arms still feel like truth? If I let you see the curves on my heart, would you still wanna play every part? What if I told you my past ain't clean? Would you still love me through the in-between? I ain't asking for permission, just the room to breathe. So tell me, baby, would you still believe?
I ain't trying to start a fire, but I won't lie about my flame. Some nights it was her name I whispered before I ever knew your name. She ain't a threat, she's a verse in my song, but you, my love, are the beat I'm on. So don't make me choose between past and peace. Just love me whole or let me be. Don't turn my truth into a test. Don't lay beside me just a second guess. I ain't asking for a fantasy, just a man who sees all of me. What if I told you I like her too? Would your soul still melt when I look at you? Can you hold me now without the fear that I love someone else before I got here? What if I told you it's all still true, that I want you, want her, and still want you? This heart ain't split, it's just grown wide. So love me loud or step aside. What if I told you, would you still choose me?